And welcome back to 10 Count. I'm Steve Kim, joined by UCN's Michael Baca and the editor of Ring Magazine, Doug Fischer. All right, December 16th, HBO concludes its 2017 with the WBO Middleweight title on the line near Montreal. BJ Saunders defends against David LeMieux. I think a lot of things can be said about the current HBO schedule, not all of it good. I think by far, though, Mike, this is the best fight they have remaining.
I completely agree, and it's an important fight because with Golovkin-Canelo looming, the rematch looming, eventually those two are not going to fight each other, and they're going to need another opponent. Yeah. And I think it's going to be the winner of this, or the winner of this is going on to face Danny Jacobs. So, as we previewed before in the previous 10 count, the middleweight division is extremely strong right now. It wasn't like that 2 years ago, which is crazy how it can change so quickly. But I like the matchup. I think Saunders coming over here, fighting in North America for the first time is, we'll see how he reacts.
Montreal, but North America.
Yeah, North America. Sorry about that. But, I think Billy Joe Saunders is a little bit underrated. I think he gets a bad rap here.
Oh, there's definitely.
Because I think he's a very solid boxer.
He's a part of his bad press. But yeah.
Oh, sure. But
he has a hand in that.
I kind of like him.
He's
kind of an ass, but who cares? He's a fighter.
I'm with you. People are treating this as a foregone conclusion.
Oh, it's not.
That Lemieux's going to just touch him on the chin and the fight's over.
Fight.
Easier said than done.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, part of the attraction of this fight, and I agree, it's a good note for HBO to go out on. It's been sort of a patchy 2017.
They're just throwing stuff against the wall. Let's be honest.
Well, this is HBO. This is HBO Championship Boxing, and guess what? There's an actual world title on the line, the WBO Middleweight title. And so part of the attraction is, okay, where does the winner go? Okay, how does he play into this suddenly red-hot middleweight division? But the other attraction to this fight is it's a good matchup. It's a boxer versus puncher matchup. Billy Joe Saunders is a crafty, cagey, skilled southpaw, and this is the important factor in this fight, and this could be all the difference. He's tough. I think he can catch. I think he proved that he could take a punch when he went 12 rounds and outpointed Chris Eubank Jr. The guy he's very tricky in there. He's the kind of guy who can frustrate a full throttle pressure fighting puncher like David LeMieux. But I will say this about David LeMieux. He's a puncher, but he's not one of these front runner punchers. He's not one of these guys who, if he doesn't get you out of there in 2 or 3 rounds, he totally runs out of steam. He does slow down a little bit, but he retains his punching power going late into a fight. He is somebody who can bang a guy for 10 or even 12 rounds if need be. Ask Hassan and Dam about that.
I hope the fight's as good as the Twitter exchanges. Those guys,
nice.
there's a lot of animosity. The overview of the middleweight division we talked about before, 2 other names that I want to mention that don't have a relationship to the BO belt, but they are the mandatory for Gennady Golovkin, Derevyanchenko, and Charlo.
Yeah.
Now, they are represented on the other side of the fence of the PBC, but you know what? Tom Loeffler has reached across the aisle. And in these mandatory situations, to them, the belts matter.
Yes.
Because that's part of their campaign. I would hope that these 2 guys are in the mix, because I think they're real fighters.
Yeah, Derevyanchenko is the IBF mandatory,
right,
and he won that IBF title elimination bout against
Toriano
Johnson, who
looked really
tough,
good,
hard-nosed, iron chin fighter, and Derevyanchenko proved to be just as strong physically, just as durable, way better technician.
Yeah.
And he beat the fight out of Johnson and scored a 12-round stoppage. And I look at a guy like Derevyanchenko, doesn't have a lot of fights, but he had a lot of fights, sort of semi-pro bouts under the banner of the World Series of Boxing, and he was an amateur standout. He's Ukrainian, I believe. Man, that guy's listen, if a guy, even Golovkin or Canelo Alvarez or Danny Jacobs, you put Derevyanchenko in with these guys, if those guys don't have if they're not at their best, if they have a bad night against Derevyanchenko, they get beat.
Or what about
He's that good.
Charlo?
Charlo is the athlete. He's the boxer
TNT.
puncher, and he's all fire. He's got an explosive mentality to go with that size, power, and expert offensive technique.
There's no train running harder right now than the Charlo train.
Yeah.
Because
I will say this, though. I will say this. His entire reputation, even as a middleweight, is on knocking out Julian Williams at junior
54.
middleweight.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. His one fight at middleweight was Sebastian Hyland.
With one leg.
Yeah, but even if Hyland had 3 legs, he still sucks.
The tripod.
The tripod sucks. It doesn't matter. He's not good. So there might be a little bit of a mirage, although, Jamal Charlo definitely passes the eye test.
I agree, and I think he's the toughest out of all the other contenders at middleweight. Maybe other than Danny.
I think it's
Derevyanchenko. Danny Jacobs is
so.
a little more proven than Charlo at 160. But hey,
that's a good matchup too.
Charlo.
But wait, hold on, Mike. Did Demetrius Andrade leave any impression on you?
When did he fight again?
Yeah, I guess not.
Good.
But here's the thing: he's still tricky. Tall, long southpaw.
And he was an amateur standout, a world amateur champion, and a U.S. Olympian, 2008.
I think that he's a guy that HBO's invested into. Banner Promotions signed a multi-fight contract with HBO. I want to see him again soon, but again, no one's rushing to face tall, athletic southpaw.
No.
So he's going to be in the mix whether we like it or not. I heard he's going to come back in early January to state his case. So he's another player at 160.
He didn't state his case.
Not very well.
Alantes Fox.
Yeah, not very
well.
And that was difficult. That what was that guy? 6'4", 6'5", or whatever, and he was kind of playing keep away. If Andrade can beat a contender, a top 10 or even top 15 contender, I'll pay attention. But he's got to beat a real middleweight.
Yeah.
Not Fox was like a prospect and really as tall as he really came from a lighter weight class.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it for this edition of 10 Count. On behalf of Doug Fischer and Michael Baca, this is Steve Kim saying goodbye, everybody.